Hello and welcome to Wingin It. And we are back again here with another tournament game. This one is from the Zany Zebrafinch Zoo, which is the Oceania tournament we've got on the go at the moment. And yeah, you join us here in round number 3. This is our second game from a best of 3 matchup, and we lost game 1. So we have to win here if we're going to hope and stay in and give us a shot of getting through into that game 3 and move into round 4. So yeah, going second here in this game. We're going to jump here and see what we've got to work with in our starting hand. And okay, we've got some interesting options here. I mean, I'm immediately of course drawn to this red-winged blackbird. Very, very nice power. I think even more so now in Oceania with these new boards. Eggs being a little bit harder to get hold of. So yeah, having that sort of tuck and lay power, be able to put that in the wetland and start drawing some cards. Pretty nice opening there. And I think as well, Budgerigar. Honestly, not really sure I've even played this bird before. Definitely one that I think if you're going to use it, it has to be early. Of course, 0 points, but guaranteed point every single time, tucking from the tray. So, yeah, pretty swift decision, I think, here. Going and picking those two. And, yeah, we've got a full tuck on our hands. So, just a word on the white throw, of course. Those kind of teal powers are very, very nice in Oceania. I'm sure there'll be some people questioning why I didn't keep that, but yeah, I think for me, it's quite difficult to use that when you're also using something like a blackbird. You've got to play a lot of birds, you've got to clear out a lot of egg space. I felt like this was a much more open, much more flexible beginning here. And yeah, like I say, the plan is to go blackbird and start drawing some cards, get some eggs going, and then we'll add the Budgerigar in as well. So yeah, just in case it wasn't obvious, this is post-commented, so of course I know what happens in this game, but hopefully I'll give a bit of context and yeah, maybe some insight and maybe some reflections, because I'm sure looking back there'll be some things I do that I do slightly question a little bit, but as I say, should be straightforward here. Go with the blackbird, and we can get the Budgerigar down as well, because of course with the new Oceania openings you get the nectar, so while it would previously maybe a bit of problem having the blackbird and the Budgerigar both needing that seed, I could feed one the seed, I could feed the other one the nectar. We'll use the seed first, we'll keep the nectar, because who knows, I'm going to draw cards, so maybe something better than the Budgerigar comes up, and we want to play that, and obviously the nectar, having that in our supply gives a little bit more flexibility. So nothing really in the tray. Catching my eye, maybe sort of half looking at that broadwing hawk if I'm getting distracted by this first end of round. Needing the rat in the food cost, but yeah, I think I'm looking for a better power than that. I think certainly not a great option here in Oceania. I would rather be seeing something like European Goldfinch, and definitely glad that it's in my hand and not in my opponent's. I think, of course, if I had picked up the hawk, Goldfinch gets revealed, and then they get their hands on that. So yeah, it's a dangerous one to be seeing come up when you're going full tuck, and as I say, definitely glad it's in my supply, even if they're not necessarily doing any tucking yet. It might be something, of course, plenty of good tucking powers, and we look at that third end of round goal, birds with tuck cards. They're probably going to want to try and get one at some point, and we put ourselves in a good position for that already. So, of course, Blackbird, Budgerigar both going to get tuck cards of them, and then maybe this Goldfinch can come later. But for now, it's just about digging, and we've got our 3-point engine set up here, so definitely nice to get this early on. And what is also nice to get early on is Pleated Woodpecker, so very, very welcome to see that off the top of the deck. And very coincidentally, we got the perfect food to play that as well. So yeah, definitely a very welcome one to pick up. Would have liked the Mockingbird as well, I'm not going to lie, but we'll take what we get. And Budgerigar suddenly coming in clutch as well here with the extra cavity space. So of course, Pleated Woodpecker, it can go in the forest and get eggs. You have to lay eggs on 2 different cavity nesting birds, and your opponent in this case would get to lay 1. And at the moment they don't have any cavity nesting birds, and we've got 2, so that definitely feels like something we might want to look at going for. But with a catbird in the tray, I'm definitely tempted to go and pick that up, and maybe if it's just blocking from my opponent, or maybe it could be used for me to copy some nice strong powers like the Blackbird, or like something else I can get going in this game. So yeah, we'll pick that up. It's sort of half a deny, and like I say, half an eye on maybe the future of this game, to have a nice strong engine, perhaps either in the wetlands or maybe now in the forest, because of course with this woodpecker we can maybe do a little bit of air Sando action. So this is a strategy I quite enjoy. Definitely one that was viable pre-Oceania in the base game and European expansion, but I think is even more so viable here. And the premise is essentially that you play birds in the forest and the wetlands and use that as your engine. You know, you get food, you get eggs, you get cards, and you avoid the grasslands. And yeah, avoiding the grasslands seems to be the way to play in Oceania. So I think this sort of Air Sando style strategy, it can work very, very well. And yeah, Fleeted Woodpecker is normally the centerpiece of that kind of thing. So we play that, opponent immediately follows up with a Kestrel. I think they were probably playing that anyway. Looking at the centre round goal, getting something down in the grasslands. So maybe nice and convenient for them that it does have that cavity nest. And yeah, I don't want to give him a free egg here because I want to force him to lay eggs. So I'm going to draw cards again, and Abiath's Booby pops up. Not an engine bird, but potentially a nice one that we might play later, and go and get ourselves some extra nice bonus cards. But yeah, for now it's probably just going to be keep digging, maybe get a bit of food. Like I say, this catbird, this goldfinch, maybe I want to get that down sooner rather than later, but still no tucking birds for my opponents. So there's always something to think about there, and sort of, yeah, decide if you want to get the pink power out early or if you want to wait and see, let your opponent play something and then sort of be ready to get that down as an immediate defense. So opponent does go laying eggs there, which means that's the cue for me to go and yeah, take some food. So obviously can't take nectar here, so it's a little bit of a bummer to be going and taking food on this last turn, but I didn't really want to draw cards. Obviously the blackbird's full, and I want to wait until that round 2 trade comes up, so obviously I'll be going first there. I'll get first dibs, whatever lovely birds decide to come up. So yeah, for now we're just going to take some food and maybe think about getting the food for this catbird. We can always go and grab the nectar on our first turn if the cards in the tray are not very good. So we give ourselves a couple of options there. But yeah, we're going to start using this woodpecker. So egg space is definitely going to be a problem. Like I talked about with the white throat earlier, we're definitely going to have that problem now created by the woodpecker. But the solution to that is to play lots of birds. And when you run in woodpecker in the forest, getting the food for that should be no problem at all. Now, we are going to go and draw cards because I do like the look of that kakapo in the tray. And we also got a very nice one off the top of the deck in the carrion crow. The cost of that here, though, is that we just reveal perfect full tuck birds for our opponents. So Coot and Grackle, I would have loved those. Tuck and draw power and tuck and lay powers, respectively, would go very nice here in our wetlands to just really build that out. So yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword here to get the birds I want, to give them those. But like I say, if they're going to do some tucking, we've got this pink power in the goldfinch. We can get that down as a nice counter, and yeah, not even really touch that much on the carrion crow, but that could be a very nice teal power against them. Of course, more counters. They've got some predator powers already down, so I could potentially be getting 2 caches per round, maybe more than that if they keep playing some more predator powers. So yeah, carrion crow feels like a good option, but for now we're going to go ahead and take some food. And yeah, we got options, like I say, thinking maybe about the catbird, maybe about the goldfinch, maybe depends a little bit what my opponent does here. I think if they are going to go and play one of their tucking powers, I think I'd rush down this goldfinch if at all possible. But otherwise, I think the catbird is going to be good. We can copy basically any of these powers and it's going to be good. I think it's most likely going to go in the wetlands here. I think copying either the budgerigar or the blackbird just to maybe get some extra tucks there. And really push out this wetlands, because I think getting cards is going to be key here. Obviously, we're tucking on the blackbird every turn, so you know, we're going to have to discard eggs here, I think, to try and get some extra cards, see some more cards. So building that wetlands out, I think that's going to be nice. And yeah, give us more options, give us more cards to look at. And yeah, we should be able to get plenty of those down. If we've got this nice forest setup, we've already got the woodpecker, we can again look at building that forest out, start to get some more birds down. Even if they're not brown powers, we can get those birds down. And yeah, just unlock more food options now. That will have to change everything in the plan, because yeah, when Benelli's Eagle comes up, you pick it up, no questions asked. So we are going to go ahead and draw, and we're going to get a very, very nice pickup as well off the top of the deck in the short-toed tree creeper. So yeah, this is a very interesting power. and one that, I'll be honest, I don't think is very good in Oceania, because eggs normally are in quite short supply and it's quite hard to find extra ones. So that brown power, you get to discard eggs and play extra birds in your forest, so you can be taking food and playing birds in the same turn. It is really, really powerful, and it works so well with Depleted Woodpecker because it's got loads of cavity space. I mean, it hits the next box builder. I don't even think I've talked about that yet this game, but hits the bonus card as well. And yeah, I've already got some great forest birds to be playing. So this Kakapo can go up there. The Goldfinch can go there. Even Benelli, as a late game play, you know, I can go and take food and play Benelli in the same turn if I've got enough cards. So yeah, this Tree Creeper, this was such a good pickup. And yeah, it just works so well with everything that I'm trying to do. Going to help clear out some of these additional eggs and just play more birds. And it does feel like in Oceania, playing as many birds as you can, seeing as many bonus cards as you can is definitely a strong way of playing. So yeah, we'll get that down. And yeah, like I say, really going to help out in terms of just getting a bit more food, playing some more birds, and more importantly, clearing off these egg spaces. So we'll just take a quick look at my opponent. They've been drawing quite aggressively, so I think where good stuff has been coming up in the tray, they've wanted to draw it, so you know, I completely understand that. I've been doing the same, but they have left themselves with a lot of cards, and the way they're going to use those up is with a forest bush tit. So yeah, they're going ahead and getting that down, and that really makes me think about how do I play this and how do I get this pig power down as soon as possible. Do I have to sacrifice the catbird here just to get a bit more food so that I can play this goldfinch and make sure I'm getting extra tucks? And that is indeed what I do. So yeah, big decision. Looking back, do I regret that? I don't think I do. I think the importance here of getting this goldfinch down was key to start getting those free tucks coming through. But it also just let me get that little bit more food so that maybe if I want to be playing something like this carrion crow or, you know, getting some other birds down a little bit more quickly, that is definitely going to be something I want to be doing. So yeah, goldfinch does go down here. Really helpful for this end of round goal, I should say as well. I think we were looking pretty strong there already. You know, we've got lots of berries and seeds in the food cost, but yeah, goldfinch counts 3 for that one. So definitely a nice one to be getting down. And yeah, we're sort of clearing out some egg space, and we could be tactical here when we're using the tree creeper. You know, do we need to discard off the blackbirds so we could do more tuck and laying there? Do we need to discard off these cavity nest spaces? The tree creeper itself is hugely helpful there with this Depleted Woodpecker. Gives a lot of cavity space to work with. So yeah, all in all, pretty strong engine for us. But our opponent, you know, they could potentially be building something strong here, because bush tit's gone down. We know they do still have that grackle. They picked that up earlier. And I think I did see a California quail as well in the tray at some point. So, you know, they could be potentially going for a very strong 5 or 6 point forest here. And there's not really a whole lot we can do about that other than just hope. As I say, with this goldfinch, we can be getting some extra tucks. So we are going to go ahead and take food here. This is not going to be a turn that we use the tree creeper, but to be honest, I don't think it has to be used every turn. Of course, where I played it, you've only got 3 slots after that to be able to fill up with birds, and it's my only food source is gaining food here. So if I want to be playing birds outside of the forest, I can't be using the tree creeper all the time, because I'm just going to be using the food I gain immediately and playing those birds in the forest. So yeah, I think the occasional turn here, not really too big of a deal. And yeah, we can get ourselves a couple of nectar here. And I think getting this carrion crow down now is going to be super strong. Like I say, 3 points. I know it's going to get me 6 caches, 2 per round. So you know, at its worst, it's a 9-point play here, and it could definitely score more, potentially, if my opponent is going to play more hunting powers as this game goes on. But yeah, feeling like I'm putting myself in a strong position here, getting these counters up, the teals and the pinks, and just many strong birds in my hand already to be going and playing. So yeah, there goes the California quail. So like I say, they're building something strong up there, but we already have a lot of strong stuff on our board as well. So yeah, carrion crow is going to go down, and I think probably round 3 is just going to be about drawing a bit more, seeing what we find. Maybe just one more forest bird. I think the kakapo is absolutely going to get played with the tree creeper. Benelli is an option, of course. Benelli can go anywhere, so it might be an option to play it up in the forest, but I think keeping that flexibility, because who knows, maybe I find a Blythe's Hornbill or something like that. Some nice other big point forest only play. And I want to put that up there and then maybe move the Benelli to a different habitat. So I'll keep my options open there. It might be something I have to play for the third in a round goal, but I think we're already looking quite strong there. So yeah, we'll keep that as long as we can. And then we still got this booby. So again, that might be a play at some point. Normally like to play other bonus card birds first because, of course, with the booby, you get that flexibility of discarding bonus cards you already have. So if you draw something that's not quite so good from another bonus card bird, then you can get rid of it with the booby, turn it into something a little bit better. And nest box builder at the moment, we are 3 out of 4 to get those 4 points. So if we can find one more bird, that'll be the goal, and we can hopefully get some points off that. And alright, you join us here into round 3, and yeah, not a bad option there in the tray we've got here. Black-tailed Godwit, exactly. The kind of bird I'm talking about playing before the booby, so get some more bonus cards. I mean, it has the advantage of actually getting an extra card itself, so yeah, as good as this Wetlands has been, of course we've not really been able to expand upon it beyond those first few turns where we did play Blackbird and Budgerigar, so yeah, getting extra cards is going to be nice, and like I say, something like this Godwit is going to help, whether it's a card that we look to play, or of course with the Benelli, we're going to need some extra cards to feed that later, so yeah, we'll pick that up. Kind of no questions asked there, and yeah, we got options now, so Blackbird egg space is still going to be a little bit of a problem. You'll see I am, you know, maybe going to be discarding some eggs on a few of these turns just to get myself those extra cards to help out with obviously tucking and then obviously playing stuff later as well. But I'm just trying to work out here in terms of the order in which I can do things and using the tree creeper as an option as well. So, you know, we've already got one fish. There's another one in the feeder, so maybe playing booby early could be an option. Getting this Kakapo down is going to be key as well. That can sort of happen at any time, but again, the sooner I do that, get that in the forest, just unlocks more food when I am gaining food, and that is going to be, I think, important as well here because we've got some expensive stuff and expensive stuff that doesn't necessarily go in the forest. So we'll want to get that extra food so that we can play birds elsewhere, but. There's going to be an element of maybe some patience here, wait and see what the feeder shows. Of course, my opponent, they seem to be gaining food quite a lot, so if I maybe just wait a turn or two, the feeder can change, maybe the food I want comes up, and yeah, that just gives me some more options to work with. So yeah, we're sort of looking through our hand, looking at this Kakapo, thinking, can I get this down? Not really with this current feeder state. You know, do I want to discard a card to get more food? Do I want to discard a food to reset this feeder? This is sort of another thing that's on my mind, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, I've got this rat that I'm probably not going to use on anything. So maybe if we get rid of that and re-roll, get the food we do want, it could work out better. So yeah, we do get the extra fish and we get the seeds. So we're actually going to re-roll here, get the extra nectar, because why not? Nectar could be key for getting some extra points here, and we could use that on the Kakapo to get that down here. So yeah, like I say, could have gone down at any time, but helps to get it down now when I've got that 2 nectar in my supply. And yeah, we'll keep ourselves to 2 fish, so we are going to play booby a little bit earlier than planned, but I think, you know, sometimes it's just about the food that comes up at the right time. You've got to be opportunistic here, so it's an option. We could look to play that, but equally we can keep drawing, because again, by playing this Kakapo, by using this tree creeper, we have been able to clear this Blackbird egg space, so we can just take those 3-point turns, keep drawing, yeah, keep tucking and getting the eggs, and just keep point scoring whilst digging and whilst sort of, yeah, trying to find alternative options. But to be honest, I think we've got some good stuff, so I think we've got enough to at least keep us going for now. We can play quite a few birds. The big question for me that is going to come up is, how do I deal with that last in the round goal? So yeah, we are laying quite a few eggs here, of course, with the Blackbird, with the Woodpecker, but then none of them are going down in the right nest. So we are potentially going to need a star nest, or we're going to need to lay eggs at some point. Those are the sort of things I am thinking about. But what I'm also thinking about is, actually, let's play the Godwit before we play the BBC. Yeah, we are going to take food. We're going to skip the tree group again, but as I said before, it's not critical to use it every turn. There is still value in taking food here and getting what I need, and what I needed was food for the Godwit. So now we've got enough to be able to potentially do back-to-back Godwit and Booby. And that really pushes out this wetlands again, just get more card access, which I think is important here. Not just for digging purposes and finding what we want, but potentially throwing and getting a bit more food. Obviously, we've still got this Benelli that I do want to play as well. So I'm sort of half keeping an eye on this end of round goal. You know, if I do need to get Benelli down a little bit sooner, I can potentially react going second tier in this round and just see what my opponent is doing. But I think we're in a strong position. They would have to really surprise me here and play a couple of birds that have tuck cards on them with their next 2 turns. So yeah, I think definitely plan A is going to be Godwit and Booby. You know, we'll see what the Godwit bonus card is. We're still looking for this final nest box builder bird, and it's still not really coming up. So part of me as well is thinking maybe wait until the next round, maybe wait until that tray comes up. Like I say, if a nice big point cavity nesting bird does come up as an option, then I'll look at going for that, because I just know I can get more points off the bonus card. But yeah, we'll kind of just have to wait and see, as I say, and try and react to that. So we're just going to keep getting tucks from this Goldfinch. Should say this has been a pretty good play, getting 4 tucks so far and probably more. And we are going to play this Godwit, and Dive Specialist, to be honest, is a pretty good pickup here. 3 points already, and yeah, already doing better than Nestbox Builder. So it might be that is the one that we look to keep. Plains Wanderer, another good pickup here. So this is a bonus card bird I really like from Oceania. Draw 1 bonus card for each bird in your grasslands. So very easy, I think, to play a few birds in your grasslands and play this later on. And it's a really, really strong option for seeing a lot of bonus cards. And normally I feel like you find something pretty good when playing Plains Wanderer, even late on, if you're giving yourself sight at lots of bonus cards. So plenty of good options here in our hand. And yeah, the big question for me, I think, is going to be, when does the Booby go down? Where does the Benelli go down? I mean, how patient can we be? Can we afford to keep waiting for that final cavity nesting bird? Or do we just, you know, cut our losses here and be happy with Dark Specialist? So opponents following a similar strategy here. They're going for bonus cards. And yeah, we are going to keep that theme going here and play this Booby now. So we're going to see what bonus cards we are going to get. And we get 1 amazing one in the Ethologist and 2 pretty terrible ones alongside. So yeah, I think Ethologist is a pretty easy keep here. Knowing as well Benelli, we can play that later and get another couple of points. So strong option. It's just a case of what we get rid of. I mean, Citizen Scientist actually should say Benelli is going to help for that as well. So we do get rid of the 2 nest type bonus cards. So pretty good cycling around there from the Booby. If that was going to be a 0-point nest box builder, we turn that into 11 points in bonus cards there once we got Benelli down. So yeah, pretty good all things considered. And we maybe just need 1 final bird. So coming into this last turn and sort of coming into this last round, it's always useful to think about your turns and think about what you're going to do. So yeah, I know that these 2 in my hand are going to get played. It's just a question of what else. So we are going to keep drawing. As I say, it's still scoring points. Might need to draw again next round, but we'll kind of wait and see on that final tray, see what's going to come up there. But before then, we get our 2 Carrion Crow caches. It's just trucking along very, very nicely there. And yeah, win the end of round pretty easily as well. So we come here into the final round. And yeah, this is where we got to count, we got to plan, we got to work out for these bonus cards. You know, still maybe need 1 more Dark Specialist bird. I still need to lay eggs at some point. There is now a Star Nest bird in the tray, but I don't think the Fairy Wren is something I'm really looking at here with that game end power. But Raven potentially is something that I am looking at. Of course, it does hit Dark Specialist, so get more points there. And if I am going to have to lay eggs, there is a way in which I can maybe use that Raven of getting a bit more nectar. If it goes in the grasslands, it might help the Plains Wanderer here by seeing another bonus card. So as weird as it might be to even consider something like Raven at this late stage, I think there is a lot going for it here. So yeah, you see, I am definitely looking at it. Still trying to work out as well, you know, how many cards do I have and how many cards do I need? Do I need to discard an egg here and just see an extra card maybe as an option, but maybe, of course, to discard and get a bit more food when I am going and taking food in that forest. So we do get rid of the extra egg just to get the extra card here. And yeah, Peaceful Dive would have been really nice earlier, but it's far too late for you, my friend. And there's the Blythe Hornbill. So yeah, this is a bit of an annoying one to come up. Obviously alluded to it a little bit early in commentary, but when I was playing this game, it was on my mind. Blythe Hornbill, please come up. Perfect with the Tree Creeper. So yeah, if I had drawn that turn, I think that could have gone down instead of the Raven as my forest play, and then maybe we look at doing Benelli in the grasslands instead. So there is still a part of me, even here, where I'm thinking, okay, if my opponent leaves this, is there still time? Could I still go and pick that up? Could I play that in the forest and then look at playing the Benelli? But then obviously then I don't have an extra turn to lay eggs, and I'd have to choose, am I going to lay eggs or play the Planeswanderer? And I don't think it's worth giving up the Planeswanderer just to be able to play Blythe's Hornbill. As strong as it is, as many tucks as it would get me, it would, of course, cost me a lot of eggs as well, which would then potentially make playing some of these other birds a little bit more difficult. So yeah, I think just having its presence there made things a little bit more difficult for my opponent. They maybe had to think themselves, do I have to go out of my way to block that? I think it is pretty obvious from their perspective just how good of a bird that would be for me here. But yeah, they go and take food, so they take the risk, they leave it. But as I say, I think it is going to be a risk that pays off for them, because it's not worth going out of my way here. I've got my plan of 4 turns. I know I can get good points from that. And yeah, it's just really going to help out here. Being able to take food, get the food for the Raven, play Benelli up in the forest. And we'll see what this Planeswanderer gets us. We are going to look at 3 bonus cards. So yeah, think about it a bit like the Booby. You look at 3 bonus cards, keep 1. Should be able to hopefully get something good. We've still got this Kakapo. I find it sometimes I forget about Kakapo. If I play it too early, that is still going to get me another bonus card, of course, at the game end phase. So yeah, we've still got that to come as well. Still potentially got lots of points to be scoring in this game. So yeah, we get another tuck off the Goldfinch. Very, very nice. As I say, Hornbill is still left there. There is still part of me that's thinking, can I take it? It would be such a good play with the Tree Creeper. It's kind of yeah, romantic thinking, maybe wishful thinking, to be able to do such a nice big point play like that. But yeah, just kind of looking back at these bonus cards and knowing, yeah, I can get some really strong points by following the plan I talked about. Potentially still Nectar to think about as well. We're winning in the forest and the grasslands, losing in the wetlands. We can maybe do something to strengthen our position there. So plenty of Nectar coming through. Like I said, we took that extra card earlier. We're going to cash that in now and turn that into another Nectar, which could be very, very helpful here. Just for, as I say, getting the Raven down, getting the Planeswanderer down as well later, and of course going for the Nectar scoring. We'll discard off the Tree Creeper, and Benelli is going down using these extra cards. So super, super nice play. I think this is a really good use of Tree Creeper to be able to do this. To be able to play a bird like Benelli and keep the food that you've just gained, and now I can use that, as I say, on Raven going down in a different habitat. So yeah, pretty nice turn, pretty solid turn. And yeah, with three turns left in this game, as I say, we're going to play Raven. We'll lay our eggs. We're not going to win this end around goal, but it is important to qualify. It's 4 more points just for qualifying. So it's, I think, really important to be able to do that. And yeah, then we've still got Planeswanderer to come. So I'm sort of at this point looking through the bonus cards that I've not seen and sort of trying to imagine and think, okay, what could I find that would be good, that could score me lots of points. Again, maybe that's sort of wishful thinking. Hoping for a nice rodentologist maybe, or even a bird counter or something that I know I could get a few points off. So yeah, definitely looking for something good. But I'm feeling positive. I'm sort of looking at the 2 boards and I'm thinking, mine definitely looks very, very strong, and I know I've got some great bonus cards as well. That said, my opponent's still playing all these big point birds, so they're not going down without a fight. They are gonna keep going, as you always should, to the end of every game. And see what can be done with these final few plays. But yeah, for us, Raven going down here, and it is going to be a pretty straightforward turn. All eggs with that extra rodent, we can turn that into an egg. So It's kind of the circle of life here. We had an egg, we turned it into a card, which we turned into a food, which we now turn back into an egg. So I think in general that's always worth doing. You know, you see the extra card, you see the extra food. It got me an extra nectar as well being spent. So yeah, there was nothing lost there in terms of discarding that initial egg, because we get it back at the end. And as I say, maybe help out a little bit on the nectar, just in that grasslands on these last few turns. So yeah, all in all, feels like this has gone pretty well. Definitely some interesting decisions. I think early on, you know, I really would like that catbird to go down somewhere. I think that could have been really powerful for me, copying some of these strong brown powers in the wetlands. But likewise, my opponent, you know, they maybe could have been you know, going with the grackle in the forest as well, getting even more tucks, even more points. But there's definitely a point at which you want to just start playing the big point birds instead of the engine birds. So completely understand that. But for us, as I say, pretty easy. We're going to lay eggs, doesn't matter. We don't even need really to focus fire all the eggs, because we're getting absolutely destroyed on this end of round go. So as long as we qualify, just need to get an egg really on that ground nest. And then yeah, we can use this raven here. We'll get ourselves 2 nectars, which is very, very nice. And we'll be able to very, very easily play this Plains Wanderer and hopefully get ourselves a good bonus card. But again, we've still got points to come, so we've still got a couple of Carrion Crow caches, and we do still have the Kakapo bonus card as well. So already a very strong score, got to be said, 121. Potentially some more points to come yet as well. So feeling very, very good here in this end game for sure. And yeah, just kind of wondering what my opponent is going to be playing. I mean, they've not got a lot of food, so they could, of course, still take food here. It's still a strong action for them with the bush tit, with the quail, and then potentially play another bird. But equally, you know, you can just egg spam here. I think sometimes you do find that in Oceania. You do, you know, just end up building a decent enough grasslands where maybe you've not got enough good birds in your hand, or maybe you've not got enough food. And even just laying eggs and taking 4 or 5 points is the best option you've got. So that might be something they do. Of course, the goldfinch as well is something they've got to consider. You know, maybe taking food, of course, going to trigger that. So always nice, I think, to have these kind of pink powers that just make your opponent's life a little bit more difficult, make them think a little bit more carefully about their choice of actions. So yeah, we'll see what they do. But again, it's not going to make a huge difference to us. It's not going to make any difference. In fact, we know what we've got. We know what we're going to do. Our plan is pretty set in stone here. And yeah, it's always nice. Always nice. I always say this, but you know, coming into this final round, having a plan and being able to execute it, super nice. Of course, there's always going to be some birds that come up that maybe you know, test your patience and test your resolve and tempt you a little bit. Blythe's Hornbill being the prime example in this one, but yeah, we've been able to stick with what we're doing here, and it's been very, very nice. So opponent does indeed take food in the end, so we do get another goldfinch tuck, and we are going to play our Plains Wanderer. So what is it going to find us? It is going to find us lots and lots of nice bonus cards. So would maybe have liked this choice from the booby where we could be keeping more than one, but yeah, I'm not going to complain. 4-point Omnivore Expert or a 4-point Platform Builder. We'll take Omnivore for that. And yeah, pretty solid bonus card pickup there. Late on, 4 points, you always take that, I think. And yeah, that's the marker that the Kakapo's got to beat. So of course, Kakapo will be drawing 4. We'll see if we can get a better bonus card than that. Obviously, I'll take it. But yeah, 4 points, pretty solid indeed. So one final turn here for my opponent. I think it's pretty clear that, you know, they've been picking up food to be able to play one final bird, and it's another bonus card bird, Prairie Chicken, going down. So yeah, if they've got a chance in this game, it is going to be on their bonus cards. They're going to need some pretty strong ones to compete with what we've got. But now we'll take our 2 Carrion Crow caches. As I said, lose the end of round goal, but that was never our aim. It was all about getting these birds down and getting a bonus card from the Kakapo, like Mechanical Engineer. Always happy to see that, especially when you max it out without even trying. So definitely good fortune. Definitely going to take that 8 points off the Kakapo at the end. And yeah, a bit of a mixed bag in the nectar, but we did win 2 habitats, so I think that's always good. Get the leg up on your opponent, and we go here into the final score. So yeah, this should be A pretty solid score for us. It is going to be all about what our opponent can do, though. I know they've got some big point birds, maybe some good bonus cards. What is the position going to be here? It's going to be very strong for us, 29-8. Big deficit there. So, yeah, maybe some of these areas my opponent will bring it back. Of course, they were laying some eggs at the end. But we have got quite a lot of tuck cards, courtesy of that wetlands and, of course, the goldfinch as well. With the nectar win as well, it does push us over the line. Very strong victory here, 143 to 107. So, yeah, really happy with how this game went. Really solid, sort of air Sando, as I described it earlier, that's come together. Really nice bonus cards, of course. You know, 2 8 points and some more other ones to add to it. Maybe not quite so good, as I said, on my opponent's side. So missing a few of those and just really minimal points. So, yeah, they would have definitely hoped for something better. But lots of big point birds. Decent engine for them. But, yeah, I think this is just the power of getting birds down and digging. So getting the full tuck birds, getting the blackbird and the budgerigar. Giving me that license, as I say, to just dig. Find stuff like the woodpecker and the tree creeper. Such a solid combination. And get some other very nice big point birds down. And yeah, even that carrion crow, you know, just been ticking away. Didn't have to do much, just play it, let it do its thing, and get those 6 caches. So, yeah, really good game all in all. Hopefully you enjoyed watching that. And as I said, this is a best of 3, so it's now 1-1 in this series. We go into that deciding game 3, and that's going to be our chance to get through into the next round. So if you want to see that, please do stick around. Please do hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notifications are on. And I will see you for that one, hopefully very soon.